Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Hey. We need to talk. So, if you haven't heard, Anthony Fantano announced Even in Arcadia as the worst album of the year. Sleep Token fans, this is our 9/11. No, on the real note, that is crazy. And I think we need to talk about Sleep Token and its view from the public eye. You know, there's a couple things that I want to cover in this video, just because I've seen them said about the band. I've seen just online, and I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy when I hear some of this shit. So I need someone to listen. You're gonna listen to me. You're gonna, first off, for credentials, I went to the tour. I went to the tour and it was amazing. I got the hat too. Should I put on the hat? No, because I feel like it's kind of cringe to like have two things of merch on. We're not gonna put that on. Let me put that back, bro. It's low-key disrespectful. First thing I want to talk about is just my experience listening to the band, and part of why it drives me insane to see this like almost universal hate for this band. It makes no sense to me. I enjoy pretty much all genres of music, and I know you hear that from everyone these days, but it's true. I don't listen to classical a lot, and I don't listen to jazz a lot. I like those elements in genres that I do listen to, but I just don't listen to them. And it's not to say that I couldn't find a jazz or a musical or a classical song that I do like. I just haven't branched out. But okay, anyways, I mentioned that to say that I'm not like a diehard fan of like any genre, and that I'm very like strict on what I listen to, I guess, for lack of a better word. Like, I like a lot of music, and so when artists exist and they get attention, they usually fall into the all of Twitter's gonna fucking clown on you category, or the you're good category. You know, we Sleep Token fans, we know what category Sleep Token's in. And what's crazy to me is that I relatively agree with these like diagnoses, that's the right word, right, on these other artists. I always see other artists get clowned on a lot for making ass music, and most of the time I agree with them. Yeah, the music is ass, but not with Sleep Token. No, they are the one artists, I guess, artists, Vessel and 2 and 3 and 4, but they're live, you know, whatever. They are the only artists that I listen to that I see getting publicly dogged on all the time. And I don't get it, because I agree with every single other one, mostly, that I see people shitting on. Can you hear my chair? I need to stop moving. And I feel like, is there something wrong with me? Is it me? It can't be me, because I listen to great music. So it's like, what the fuck? What is the thing that he said about the album that had me tripping? He called it annoying. What? Now, there are a couple of reasons that I see, and I'm sure Sleep Token fans, I keep looking at myself in the camera, that's gonna look really bad in the video. Now, there are a couple reasons that I see people usually like to explain their distaste for Sleep Token, and I'm gonna go through those categories one by one and address why I agree with certain points and why I don't agree with certain points. Number one being the Imagine Dragons comparison. If you are a Sleep Token fan, you have seen this comparison all the fucking time. You see it all the time. It's in every Instagram post. It's in every TikTok post. And I'm gonna get a lot of flack for saying this, because I know Sleep Token fans hate this comparison, but I kind of agree. I kind of agree with them to an extent. To an extent. Listen. Starting in Eden, I will say I start to agree and recognize that the sound that Sleep Token's rolling with that they're doing does sound a lot more like pop oriented. And that's not to say it's a bad thing. I like it. I like pop. Okay, so it's not a bad thing to me. But it does sound a lot more commercialized. And then you go to Arcadia and it sounds even more that way. If Tomb to Eden was a huge jump in like sound difference, then I feel like Arcadia is like more of an extension or a continuation of ideas from Eden to an extent. Like, I know that messaging and just sound in general is different, but it sounds a lot more contrived from, can I use that word here? Please don't make me sound stupid. It's a lot more contrived from Eden than from any other project by far. And that's when I start to understand the comparison, because Imagine Dragons does kind of fall into like that more brooding pop sound. To that I know of. I don't listen to a lot of Imagine Dragons. I don't like Imagine Dragons. I have one song that I like from Imagine Dragons. It's the I don't know why. But yeah, like their sound, I can kind of understand the comparison there. It's a pop, rocky kind of vibe that they go for, and you hear that in some of Sleep Token's more recent music. It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that. Another reason I think would be the vocalists. You have the Imagine Dragons vocalist, I don't know his name, who sounds a bit unconventional. You know, he has a different kind of voice for pop. And then you have Vessel, another very unconventional vocalist, even more so. His voice is very, very different, very unique. And I've heard that that's the gripe that some people have with the band. And that just comes down to taste and opinion, honestly. I mean, all of this does, let's be for real. But like, I cannot imagine hating Vessel's voice ever. Like, never, ever, 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 ever. He's my favorite vocalist. Sorry, there's fucking like chunks of something in this shit. It's like a boba thing. And so with the sound of their more recent stuff and the sound of the vocalists, I do understand the comparison to an extent. With their newer shit, I feel like the people who say this about Sleep Token as a reason for not liking them haven't like taken the time to dive into the older stuff in their catalog, because, or I guess discography, because like their older shit does not sound like that. It really doesn't. Especially 1 and 2 as EPs. Are they still experimental metal albums with pop influence and stuff? Maybe 2, but 1, no, actually. No. 1, no. But it's like that kind of sound isn't there really in Sundowning and Tomb. Those albums sound so much different from Eden and Arcadia. It's insane. And they're not really that poppy. Why am I looking? They're not really that poppy. Number 2 reason. My bad. And this actually is something that I have a gripe with as well. This is actually a criticism of my own. And that is what I like to call the Sleep Token formula. I know some of you probably already know what I mean by saying that, if that's not already an established term in the fandom. I don't mess with the fandom all that often, because I'm sure you can understand. I literally just saw a tweet earlier that was like speculating what Vessel and like the rest of the band was just doing that day. Just, think it is like,
Bro, that shit is kind of fucking weird to me.
When I say the Sleep Token formula, I am talking about the songwriting and progression of their music. And I'm not talking about lyrics. I'm talking about composing, producing, and yeah, the progression of a song. It wasn't completely apparent to me until I was watching a reaction video to like one of the songs, I think, from Arcadia. And this girl who wasn't the biggest fan but still fucked with their songs pointed it out. And I think I had always subconsciously kind of recognized that and realized it, but it wasn't until she said it that I was kind of like, oh shit, no, like that's definitely really a real thing. That being that Sleep Token songs typically follow a pop or R&B or acoustic whatever intro, verse, chorus, second verse, and then here's the climax. Here's where you get all your metal elements, and then it's metal for the rest of the song, or it's metal and pop infused for the rest of the song. You know, I eat it up. I like it. I do like it, but it does get old. Am I crazy for saying that? Is it ridiculous? Is it ridiculous? It does get old, in my opinion. Even as someone who likes literally pretty much every track of theirs. But I can see why that would push people away from listening to their music. Because if they go onto Spotify and they listen to like the top like 5 recommended tracks that are up there, I think it's 10 now, chances are they're gonna get a song with the Sleep Token formula. And if they're listening to one song after the other to garner whether or not they fuck with Sleep Token, and they hear that formula and someone actually recognizes it, it's raps. It's raps. And I'm not saying it's bad. We like it for a reason. We eat it up for a reason. But not everyone is going to, because it does get very, very samey. A lot of Sleep Token songs do get very, very samey because of this aspect. And so much so that there's a huge part of me that hopes that they step away from this in their next project, because, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't think I can continue to listen to their music with the same enthusiasm as I do now if that doesn't change. At least not for like another couple releases, right? Like if the same album is happening the next time, it's like, you know, maybe like whatever. But but it is something that I recognize can get really mundane for some people. My favorite song, one of my favorite Sleep Token songs, is it doesn't do this. It's not even metal at all. It doesn't get metal at all. And no, it's not Past Self. It's not Fall For Me. It's not Do You Wish That You Loved Me, even though I do like all of these. It is Take Aim. Yes. That acoustic mashup from Sundowning that has like less than 20 million listens, I think. That is one of my favorite Sleep Token songs. It's the most ethereal shit I've ever heard in my entire life, and it doesn't follow that formula. Am I saying that the formula is bad? Again, no. Am I saying that every single Sleep Token song follows this formula? Again, no. But I think I tend to like it more when their music is fleshing out an interesting idea by itself, rather than just falling back on the same thing that they do with almost every song. And again, I like it, but it's like, okay, like let's mix it up a little, you know? And I think that if Sleep Token recognizes that, their next project might actually be able to be something that proves Fantano wrong and saying that they're bad, proves the haters wrong and saying that they're bad. I don't think that everyone's gonna like them. Okay, I know that some people are just hating just to hate, and fuck them. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. But yes, I don't upload YouTube videos. Damn, I've been calling for 20 minutes. I don't upload YouTube videos. I just wanted to get my word out and say that, because as successful as they are right now, this is their most successful year by far. 2025, 100%. But as successful as they are, they still do have a lot of haters. More so than I see in any other music community. I know that people are not gonna like artists. People don't like every artist. That's fine, because it all comes down to taste, right? But I've never seen an artist be so openly bashed on social media the way that I see Sleep Token. I can scroll on an Instagram reel of literally any single other fucking artist ever, and most of the comments on that reel are either laughing at it or in a positive way, or talking about the artist in a positive light, or just saying something funny, you know, whatever. If I'm on a Sleep Token reel, the top comments are all shitting on the band, and it's like, God fucking damn, bro. So yeah.